looks good. This, and I do something here. Okay. So, welcome. We are here. We are live on this day, the last day of August. It's amazing that the summer has flown, and we have a very special service today that I'm excited about with Jennifer Derry, who speaks about every 5 years when her life is ready to turn upside down again and start something very new. So I welcome you to Unity of Pomona Valley's service, Sunday service. We're delighted that you've joined us here in person and online. And we are grateful for the generosity that you show. We're a small church, and the gifts that we are given help keep us going along. So let us start with the song, one of my favorites in Unity, Weave. And as we sing it, I invite you to think about our country and our world and how we all need to be woven together. And Jennifer is a weaver, so I particularly, particularly love the images that Julie Matanga put up for us. Okay, Drac, thank you.
Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, together in love. We are many textures, we are many colors, each one different from the other. But we are entwined with one another in one great tapestry. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, together in love. We are different instruments playing our own melodies, each one tuned to a different key. But we are all playing in harmony, in one great symphony. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, together in love. A moment ago, till we did not know our unity, only diversity. Now the Christ in me, grace of Christ in thee, in one great family. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, together in love.
Beautiful. Thank you all. Let us pray. I invite you to allow my words to be your words, if that feels right, as we turn within for prayer. As I draw my breath in, I draw my attention to my sacred inner realm. I began to explore this inner realm, looking with curiosity at what is really inside of me. As I continue to breathe, I breathe out anything that blocks my view of who I am from the inside out. And I continue to notice that God did not make junk when God made me. When I was conceived in my mother's womb, the divine knew what she was doing. And she placed within me a magnitude of blessings and gifts, so that I would be unique in all the world. I was created for a purpose, or maybe many purposes. No one can do the job of me because of my uniqueness, and that job needs to be done. The world hangs on me doing and being fully and authentically me. The gifts that were put within me allow me to creatively be me, to have fun and joyously be me, to discover every day new things about myself, things that I could never imagine that I could do, and yet I do them. I do them because I open to the Spirit of God, however you know or understand that, however I know or understand that. The Holy Spirit, the divine flow. I open to it and I allow that flow to tickle me, to bring ideas, new ideas into my fanciful mind. Ideas that not only bring me joy, but bring me joy because they make a difference to someone else. Because they bring me into service in new ways. Because I feel creative. Because I am discovering new things about myself and others in the world, and how they are all indeed woven together. As I sit in the silence of each sacred moment, I feel the divine bubbling up within me with a sense of joy and exploration to be and do life with great joy, authentically. And so it is. Amen and amen. Let us now sing together the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thank you. Our announcements today are we are getting a new coffee pot because our old one
Died.
yes, died, broke. So that is on its way for our time together, our food together today. We always eat together afterwards, and have fellowship, have a chance to really be with each other. There is a David, who is our technical person, has us on Facebook now, but if people want to see this later, it's going to be saved on YouTube, and we have a YouTube channel that is up there. So you can just look under Unity of Pomona or Unity of Pomona Valley. There's a number of places I think you can find us. So this Sunday, after our lunch, we are going to explore with Jennifer Derry her new oracle cards and book that she created from her art. Much of her art is weaving, but she does other forms of art as well. And her books, she's going to talk more about this in her talk today. So these are going to be available for people, and we'll stay and have a class with her for those that are interested. I want to thank everybody that got involved in making banners. Oh, Jackie, I wanted to bring your banner in and show it off.
I brought the ribbon, but we didn't put it
We
on.
didn't put it on. Well, we could just show it. But anyway, a number of people have done well. Some are in the middle of it. We want you to finish our banners. I would like to have a banner art show in October. What do you think of that? Wouldn't that be fun? And so to give us a chance to finish them, and I have gotten almost nowhere on mine, so believe me, I need time. We're going to be, look at Friday afternoons as a time that we can get together and work on them. Also, next Sunday after lunch, we can stay and work on them. And then in November, we're going to have another class session and start creating holiday banners. Now, these may not be just Christmas or New Year's, but it could be any of the holidays for the whole year, that from any religious tradition. So how do you like that? Yeah. So let Spirit inform you as to what is yours to do. Tomorrow, I am planning to go to a Labor Day protest, and it's in Indian Hill at Foothill in Claremont. So if you want to start the fall off with that, I think that it is important that we put our beliefs into action in the world, and that's one of the ways that I am planning to do that, to stand behind my beliefs and stand up for my principles.
What is the focus of the protest?
There was a woman's march that I signed up for, and I don't know if this is a part of that. There is a focus on, well, I can't tell you because I couldn't. You know how you sign up for something and then it disappears? Has that ever happened to anybody? So it did. It just disappeared. But it is around immigration rights. I think it is, a protest against what the federal government is doing at local levels. That is not okay with many of us. But thank you for asking that question. Yeah. Monday book studies continue at 7. Wednesday meditation and prayer. Compassionate Pomona's next meeting is September 4th, which is this week, and we're going to meet in person. Once a quarter we meet in person. We're going to be at the Pomona Unified School District's Mendoza Center, which used to be a school. And we're having brunch, so you can, from 10 to 12, if you want to come and be with us, you're welcome to do that. We're going to have another interfaith sharing and prayer circle like we did the end of July, and it's going to be here in this chapel with Reverend Tracy, I think, and with Reverend Mary, and with, I don't know, Drac, if you're going to be a part of that. I think you were a part of that, weren't you?
The last one.
The last
was
one,
very
yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, you weren't in my circle, but you were,
Was
Jennifer
it?
said you
Yeah.
were in her circle.
Was in her circle.
So, yeah, so I really look forward, and I want to invite interfaith friends to come and share their prayers and their way of praying as well. So, put that on your calendar at Wednesday, September 10th. Saturday, September 13th is our annual Walk for the Hungry and Homeless. And this is Hope Partners Walk that they always do. It starts at Claremont College's registration at 8. The walk begins at 9. I have never been on it because I don't think I can do 5K, but some of us do. And so that's a wonderful thing to do. There is an organization that is working on raising money for our residents who cannot work due to fear of ICE picking them up. And our mayor, our Pomona community, and other people, other towns around are very interested in supporting them. So this is a very creative, we're talking about creativity this month, way to do that. There are 5 homes in the historic Lincoln Park part of Pomona that are going to be shown. And for a ticket of $50 to see these homes, you can be a part of seeing these homes and raising money. I do not yet have the information on how to purchase the tickets. So I just spoke with Julie Wheeler, and she's working on arranging it. So I will let you know as soon as I know, which hopefully will be next weekend. September 14th, I'm going to lead a mindfulness practice after church. So mindfulness, I have found, is life-saving. And my Buddhist teacher Shinzen Young taught me, after many, many, many sessions with him, about how to sit and just be with whatever is, the pleasant, the unpleasant, the neutral sensations, thoughts, etc. How to eat mindfully, and maybe we'll do some mindful eating when we are even at our dinner, and mindful walking. How do you move mindfully? So if anybody here interested in a mindful practice? Okay, good. Yeah, I used to do it once a month, didn't I, Jackie, on a Saturday? But, so we'll start with this, and it'll be probably 2 hours of working on that. Then the Upland Interfaith Council is having conversations across polarizing lines. It's hard sometimes to have those conversations when people think very differently, are exposed to different news media, etc. And so we're having a hard listening, which is going to be, it's kind of similar to what we're doing here. In fact, I sent what we did here to Kat Reeves at the Upland Interfaith Council. And so, but we're going to have more conversation there. And she found this quote: "In times of division, the radical act is not to speak louder, but to listen deeper." And I don't remember who said that, but it's the truth of that is so important. And then on the 21st, Sunday the 21st, after our service, we're going to have a SWAC listening circle. We've been planning this for the whole entire year. We started in January, our board did, and we kept putting it off. But now is the time when we begin looking at unities. And I think somebody's trying to get in the door.
It's like voice back here.
Oh, okay. It's not the door? This is an opportunity to look at Unity's strengths, Unity's weaknesses, Unity's opportunities and challenges. And I know many churches are going through getting smaller and smaller, and yet it's what we do and what we teach is so valuable. And how do we need to do it differently? What do people want? What do people need? So we're looking and listening to each other in that on Sunday the 21st from 2:30 to 4:30, 2 hours. And then we are collecting both food and backpacks and lunch bags for residents that can't afford them. And we just remember how blessed we are when you feel that tap of spirit saying, even though you may be stretched a little, can you give to somebody that has next to nothing? So let us remember how blessed we are by saying the affirmation that is on our screen together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all I am, all I give, all I do, and all that I receive. And while Jackie is getting ready to come up, Liz is here with our offering baskets, and she is passing them. So thank you, Liz, for all the work you do every Sunday. And she's going to be gone next Sunday, so if somebody wants to step up and, okay, Carmen, thank you, Carmen.
Stepping up.
Yay, good, okay. And so we give thanks for the donations given today. And this is today's daily word for Jackie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The word for today is healing. I use uplifting words to support my healing. A teacher asked students to draw self-portraits surrounded by rays of sunshine and swords radiating from their hearts. The rays represented uplifting words, the swords symbolized hurtful ones. This exercise powerfully illustrated that words can heal or harm. Today I commit to using words that affirm my divinity. I receive these sentiments into my heart, acknowledging their truth. I release any words that do not uplift me. I heal myself by using words of kindness and encouragement. I will also be mindful of the way I speak to others, choosing words that soothe, strengthen, and affirm. I honor the light within everyone and help create a healthy, compassionate world. And from Proverbs 4:20 through 22. My child, be attentive to my words. Do not let them escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. One more thing, I had a calendar reading this week that goes along with our theme, and it's supposedly attributed to Henry Matisse, an artist. And he said, creativity takes courage. Maybe some of you felt that making banners this week.
Yes. Yes, good. Thank you, Jackie. So, we get to sing another song, and the song that we're singing is a song that I was taught by a Native American friend on a journey to Mount Harney, was the mountain up in South Dakota. And it's a Native American mountain and a very sacred space. And I love this song, and it is called Beauty. So I don't know, how do you want to do it, Drac? I have 2 verses and 2 chorus, the chorus twice.
Okay, so we can do the first verse and the chorus.
Yeah, and then the second
verse and
verse.
the chorus.
Yep.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good. We'll just sing it through. Okay.
Sing it through it. It's beautiful in its simplicity, and the message is made more powerful because it's so simple, I think, you know?
Yes.
Beauty to the south.
out for a walk and think of those words, and they're in your bulletin, so you can take those words with you and put them in your heart and just be, as our Jewish friends say, in awe and wonder of nature. It's a very spiritual thing to do. So, today's speaker is Jennifer Derry, who I know well. She has been on our board since before I came over 22 years ago. She has been a major factor in this church's unfolding, and she has been an artist her whole life, ever since she was in grade school.
6 years old.
6 years old. So, and she's found different ways to do her art, and some of them you will find in her deck that you're going to look at and see. Some of you will see on her slides, and some of it you will see on the cards that she has as she has this class afterwards. I want to say that she is a testament to the struggling artist. And that struggling artist is within all of us. You know, there's that which has been put within us that is struggling to express creatively, struggling to get out, struggling to express the emotions and the beauty and the struggle of the world, the challenges, and rising up to do that. As Jackie's quote, you know, being an artist, it takes courage. Being creative takes courage, because we're thinking out of the box. And when we're thinking out of the box, not everybody is on board with that, right? We're not just trying to please people, but we're trying to please that inner self, that Christ within. So Jennifer, come on down. Let us hear about what you have to share with us today. And David, if you can put her work up.
I want to talk about the owl for a minute. Connect. Okay. Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about the owl first. I did this a long time ago, and I wish I hadn't sold it, but when you're an artist, you're also trying to make a living.
Yes.
I sold it. But the owl has always been a big thing to me, the symbol of it, how they live. I've seen them in their nests and did bird watching and all that kind of stuff, some others with babies. And I created this card because, or this artwork, she's a creature of the night. Owls are powerful at night, they hunt, they can see in the dark, and then they sleep all day. So that's what this card is about. And as far as struggling artist, I think now I'm more settled into it than I used to be, at making a living at it and having it be, when you go to work, I go to my studio, same thing, with all the challenges that go with that. So anyway, let's see. Got to do some tech stuff here. But I am a lifetime artist, did college, art school, the whole bit, apprenticed, which is normal for an artist, worked with other artists who are more experienced, and now I mentor people, which is extremely rewarding to show them how to be an artist and how to make a living at it. So I live above Laverne, where Webb School is. Since you're all here, you know what that means. And I live with Tara, my Siamese tabby cat, and there's a picture here of her helping me weave. Meaning trying to destroy the
Oh,
loom.
that's an old
And she's my best buddy. She makes me laugh. She runs the house. She keeps everything in line. Now, the history of tarot, the deck that is state of the art, and I don't know if you can see this, it'll be in the back. Can I hold it in front of a camera, or can it be seen on the camera?
Yeah, you're in the camera, so.
Okay. This is the Rider-Waite deck. It came out in about the 1970s. All decks now, Oracle or otherwise, derive from this. And if you look at the different suits, and I'll get into that, Our playing cards, clubs, spades, diamonds, and hearts, are based on the tarot suits, and a typical Rider-Waite deck is 22 major arcana cards and 78 suits. And the suits go all the way from ace, the beginning, to, they go through, let me think, 10. And then they have court cards, page, knight, queen, and king. My deck is a little bit smaller because I only had 52 pieces of art. So I had to stop there. And it started in China, 9th century. These were created for the entertainment of the royalty. And they used it like money. And we all know that Chinese invented mahjong and they love gambling. And so it was started out like, monopoly money. And then it kind of started to divide into suits. And by the time it got to, actually in the 13th century, it got to Egypt, and they started putting in like swords and polo sticks, coins, and things like that, and the cups, which represent emotions. And they found a deck in Istanbul in 1939 that shows this deck that was created in Egypt, again for the entertainment of the aristocracy, because they're the guys that had the money. Then it surfaced again more prominently in 15th century Europe, and they started putting face cards on it, not just the 4 suits, think clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades. And like there'd be a pope or different religious figures and archetypes, which comes into the later deck, major figures that have more of an influence on your life. But the church started to object to this, that they were just encouraging being idle. So the church has always been kind of opposed to tarot decks, and there is still a stigma. I am still quiet about where I talk about this because very conservative people consider this witchcraft, which is not something I want to be identified with. Then in the 18th century, for some reason, mysticism surfaced and they started giving a meaning to the cards. They started to have face cards or picture cards. And so it evolved into the deck that we have today slowly over time. Okay, got to do some tech stuff here. Okay, so this, I don't think this one, there we go. So this is the Rider-Waite deck. And the major arcana means mysteries. It's when you do a layout of these cards and say the Fool comes up. What it means, it's the hero's journey. It's the person stepping off the cliff, going into the unknown, moving ahead with life without really knowing what they're doing, but taking the journey and being happy with it and not worried about the future, sometimes called the Fool's journey. And the Magician, the opening card in this setting, is the beginning card. The Fool is 0 and the Magician is number 1. It's kind of a symbol of you have the alchemy or the control over your life to make it be positive or make it be negative. You have the tools. That's the magic. And then I threw the Sun in because it's kind of a card of enrichment, contentment, good relationship, good abundance in life. And then I put the World in because it's the end of the major arcana, and it's kind of like the end of the Fool's journey. And I'm sorry, like somehow or other in these decks, they don't have a lot of clothes on people at times, so I hope you don't mind. But the World is the completion. The Fool has gone through the journey, the person has journeyed through the adventure and grown. And there's 22 cards, and I have a deck you can look at in the back if you're not familiar with it. Then for the Wands, and this comes from a book that Arthur Waite wrote for the Rider-Waite deck, and there's I don't have her name here, and there's an artist, an illustrator who did all these pictures. And this is absolutely state-of-the-art for tarot cards. And Wands, you see the 8 of Wands on the left. Wands indicate like direction, inspiration. And then Cups, the next card with the 2 people sharing cups, is for emotions. And Swords are more intellectual, and Pentacles are more like money, abundance, business, prosperity. And the king and queen of the cards have the court cards. If you see a king or a queen in your reading, it's they're people that have influence in your life. They can be anybody, not just family. And in the the more modern deck is based on some on astrology, some on numerology. So an ace of cards is the beginning of a question. And mine go through 7, so 7 would be the fruition or the harvest of the question, the completion of the question. So how did all this happen? I've been reading tarot since I was a teenager. I've always loved it. It was a little bit more something more private back then because there was not so many oracle decks. And what happened is oracle decks, you can see the ones on the screen, the Prairie Majesty Oracle is from an artist in the Midwest promoting the preservation of the prairies, the wildlife, the grass, the trees, and all of that. The Shaman's Oracle I just bought at Kindred Spirits, and what I like about it is the cave art, and it rests a lot on ancestor wisdom. And then Animal Voices, I like that one because there's a sea turtle on the front, and it's all turtles. And I mean, not all turtles, but all animals. And it goes on elements. Like for the cards you just saw, the wands are fire, the cups are water, the swords are air, and the pentacles are earth. So the elements also figure into these cards. Now, interesting thing is the Prairie deck on the left, I decided to go try to get my MFA, Master of Fine Arts, to teach at community colleges. Occasionally, I think I need to go into officialdom, which never works, but I give it a try. And after 2 years or a year, I had these huge paintings all over my closets at Jan's house, taped up, and a ton of art. And as a craftsperson, usually I'm creating things people buy to use. Art you don't use, you stick it up on the wall, or it's a sculpture. And the MFA program and I were finding we didn't really agree with each other. So I was going, what do I do to salvage this? I have all this art. And Jan said, why don't you do a tarot deck or an oracle deck? And I found this Prairie deck, and I'm from the Midwest, and I thought, God, if she can draw like grass and leaves and bugs and animals and trees, I can do it. This was born. And because of COVID, there used to be oracle decks around, but people, I think because of lockdown and being upset about everything, the oracle deck market completely exploded. So by the time I decided to do this in about 2022, it had become mainstream for people to just produce oracle decks on any subject. So I felt right at home. And it took me, in terms of creativity, I grew up in Illinois, in the prairies, in the forests. I ran wild in that. Nature was my greatest influence, and I started painting and drawing very early. And of course, what I was drawing was my environment, which was all nature. And whenever I kind of went away from that into trying to draw buildings or, you know, the art world such as it is, I was lost because I was kind of a birds and grass person. That was my first art show. So I just kind of stuck to this. And even through when I was in the MFA program, they said, well, what's your focus? And I said, trees. Jan's yard is full of trees. And that's where I was there. We were still stuck on lockdown. Couldn't even go to classes. We had to do it all on Zoom. And, you know, and then later somebody said, you have to have a political stance. I said, what? And then I went, nature, conservation, caring for the environment. And then somehow or other that launched me. And I realized, yeah, you do have to kind of have a focus when you're an artist. So these are my cards, and my deck looks like this, and the book looks like this with the owl on the front, and this is a paper weaving on the back from my MFA days. And I've always wanted to publish a book, so I had to convince my printing works people, yes, of course you want to print a book for me, and you know, 52 card deck. Found a tech person, and she designed all of these cards. And then I took the art from my life over all the art that I have left. And the first one, or the current stuff, but the owl is from many years ago, and that's only, the only thing I have of that is a photograph. So the first one, and my major and minor arcana go like this. I have 16 major arcana cards, so those are spiritual influences. They can be archetypes, but it's more of a spiritual and larger influence on your life. Like, say, right now we're in lots of turmoil in the world, so that's kind of an influence on our lives. Looking at it is kind of the overview. And this is kind of Carl Jungian psychology stuff too. Then I have 4 suits, and trees are wands, birds are swords, sun, moon, and stars are cups, and stones are pentacles. And this first one, I did this, I couldn't even see, I was going through cataract surgery, and I put this up on my closet door and started painting. And that was the beginning of my MFA thing, and I was so tickled with this. Sunset is such a magical time. You know, the sun's setting, the earth is calming down for the night, the colors are very bright for a while, and then they fade into twilight. And at the height of summer, and this is the first card, we have so much sun energy in June, you know, like coming up to the solstice and then fading off into fall. And so number 2 is Freedom Flight, and I love geese. And that goose is from a boutique I did of the same vintage as the owl. It was a long time ago, but I kept the photograph. And I love the scenery, twilight moving, sunset moving to twilight. So there's dark sky and then there's light sky. There's still light left in the picture. And I started coming up with these portals, and there's something on the back door that has, it's just a circle with a rainbow in it, and you can't say it's a mandala or medicine wheel because then it's appropriation of other people's cultures. So I said, it's a portal. It's a mandala. Figured I could get away with that. And for years I was painting this tree, the saguaro cactus, and this rainbow. Put no meaning to it, just painted it and everything. So the goose is flying to the portal, and geese fly on instinct or magnetic impulses, but they have a very strong drive to migrate. And the portal is talking in the next 2, let's see, the next 2, the portal on the left, it's, you know how when you're in a bad mood and then you kind of figure it out and then you're in a good mood and everything calms down. Well, it's a lot like a storm. You have a thunderstorm, it's all growly and dark and windy. Rain comes through, and then there's a rainbow, and everybody feels better. So that's kind of where the portals came from. And there's kind of a turbulence, like a storm, when you've been feeling bad about something and you want to let it go. And then the picture on the right, it's from the suit of stones, but it's the picture of the inside of the portal with the cactus. And the rainbow only has 3 colors because I could only fit 3, and I couldn't fit 7 in. And, okay, so that's portals. Then the next one is the shadow, and that's a picture. I'm actually up at that cable car thing on the way to Palm Springs where you go up the mountain to 8,000 feet. And I took a picture of me against this tree, and it was very bright up there, and the air is very clear. The shadow is, and Jungian psychology talks about it a lot, Jan's talked about it a lot, it's when things are kind of dark, obscured, and you're not seeing things in the light because it's an unprocessed part of yourself. It's something you haven't dealt with yet. So say you get one of the many things in your memory figured out. It's kind of like the shadow disappears and it comes to light. So it's just something there to indicate to you, okay, I'm not right where I want to be right now, and I can walk through this and it'll get better. Then the next card is, and a lot of these are photographs or tapestries or batiks or paintings. This tapestry took me a year. It's the gift that kept on giving. And I wanted to do a bare tree. And it's a sign of winter because the tree has no leaves. It's kind of like it's hibernating under the moon. And trees go through a dormancy before their leaves come out, which they need to do in order to recharge for the spring energy, for the growth spurt and the high activity. And this is in the suit of trees, so it's like wands. Then, this one is Sun, Moon, and Stars suit, which is emotions. and it's a pastel on paper, and it's a cloud over the moon. And I don't put a lot of negative stuff in my tarot. I could maybe put more storms and stuff in there, but I don't. The traditional tarot has death and the devil, all kinds of stuff. Tower, which society ends in that picture. And I went, no, I'll just put a cloud over the moon. That's as far as I want to go, because sometimes it's like the shadow. We get obscured. We can't see where we're going. But the thing about clouds is they move, and the moon comes out again, and you can see again. So if this card comes up in a reading, it just means that you aren't having a moment of clarity. You're having a moment of having to try to figure things out. And then the final card is stones. That's pentacles or abundance. And I had the joy of going to Monument Valley and took a photograph a long time ago. And what I love about the experience is you have this vast open area and these huge rocks that have been there forever. And if you have problems, they kind of go into perspective in the enormity of this Navajo sanctuary for spirituality. And the legacy of the ancestor energy, just thinking we've been here a long time and kind of grounding into the stones. Then, how do you do a reading? At the bottom of this picture, it's just a 4-card layout, and it's like the core of the reading, like what's on your mind, the past, what the past influence is on your situation, the present, the current moment that you're in and what you're feeling, and the future, kind of how whatever it is will come out. The top part of it, which is more complicated, is this is a variation on the Celtic cross. There are many, many layouts out there, but this is the one that I always use. And you have the core of the matter, crowning best possible outcome. The influence to the left, what you're coming out of, the foundation, what your concern is all about, and then starting to move into the energy ahead. And then all the little cards that are diagonal or in the little pile next to it elaborate on the parts of the outcome. And you could put that in the reading or not. You don't have to have those. Then the Oracle kit looks like this. And I do it this way. I haven't found a publisher to put the deck in a box like this yet, and where I can market it, say on Amazon. But I like this for classes because the book's in here, and the deck is in here. It has a pouch for the deck, and there's a little mood light and a little cardstone. And when I meditate, I like to hold a rock for some reason, something smooth, a pen and a journal. So, and that'll be for the class. And that's $25, and then the class is $20, and for 2 hours. And what we do is we're going to just I'm going to explain everything a little deeper, because there's symbols I want to talk about and different aspects of the tarot deck. And then we lay out a reading, and you do it for yourself, but we all share it. And then we lay out the larger reading and give readings to each other if you want, if you feel comfortable with that. Otherwise, you can just do the reading for yourself and share about it. And originally when I learned how to do this, you said you shouldn't do your own readings. Well, that didn't work for me. I like to lay out the cards and go, okay, what's on my mind? But if I have a reading tomorrow because I have some decisions to make, and I want to hear it from somebody else, because a reader who does this all the time will be very honest with you, especially about the parts you don't want to look at. So or they might aim you in a different direction than you're thinking. So this creativity, I got tired of the gallery system, the kind of the elitism of it. And I said, how am I going to get my stuff out there? I have something to say to people. I thought, well, a coffee table book might be kind of boring. Let me do the Oracle deck and put a little twist on each card, each piece of artwork as I perceive it. When you look at the cards, when you look at these, you'll perceive it your own way. And I just like the whole idea. Now, I pulled a card. I got this idea from Draft to pull a card for the group, and it's the Suit of Stones. It is like kind of the flowers that bloom this time of year, like zinnias and different ones are more kind of orangey. They're not like spring flowers. And what this card means, and it's stone, so it has to do with abundance, prosperity, and well-being, is it's a late summer garden card, and it means that we're coming to the fruition of summer energy, gardens you've planted, plans you've made, thoughts you've had, kind of start to bear fruit, and then we go into fall energy, which is a little bit different. So that is it, and this is where I've always been, where I come from, and where I return to stay healthy and sane. And that's like doing the art, staying in the spiritual energy. Another reason why I like doing my art this way is it's spiritual. It's not, does a gallery like it? Does somebody want it in their living room? It's just, this is where I come from. This is my expression. If there's a struggle, it's getting to the point where you say, this is the way I do my thing. So, thank you for everything. If you have any questions, I am totally available.
Let's give her a big hand. One of the things I did not mention is Jennifer has a master's degree in chaplaincy. And she has just been on a spiritual path her whole life.
I think I just brought the chaplaincy to the art.
I think you did. I think you did. And
Without having to write a Medicare report.
as you saw Tara, her cat in the picture, she loves nature, but she also loves cats. And she has a very interesting way of saying things and looking at things that is very funny. I would like to see her do a cat tarot.
I'm thinking about it.
So, Drac, do you have some special music for us today?
Well, I was going to do something I did in the last service that is similar to what I did a couple of weeks ago. I drew a card, sat with the presents, and then based upon the card I drew from mine, just challenged. So I was thinking it would be perfect. I brought mine, but that was for the last service. We could pick one of your cards.
Okay.
And this is with the understanding that whatever card is picked right now is for the good of everybody. There's no private good, and we are here. You know I've done this as a practitioner many times. I believe that our consciousness in this room right now is gathered for a purpose. We are all on a spiritual path, so that whatever card I pick it or she picks at this moment is what we all need to hear. If I feel a message come through that, I'll say something about it, and then I will sit, and then I'll just, whatever plays.
Oh, wow.
Whatever plays.
Okay, so I'm going to let you pick the card. Oops, if I can get them organized. They've been shuffled. Maybe you want to cut them and then pick.
So this is with the understanding that we are here collectively in consciousness, seeking to grow, spiritually develop. And that what I pick here today is for the good of this room, for everybody's good. Basically.
And let me know and I'll read the meaning. Or you say what you see when you look at it too.
Okay. Got Soothe the Stones again, and it's Rising with the Sun. Rising with the Sun.
5 of Stones. Okay. Get up. Can you all hear me? Oh, yes. We're a close group. Actually, I like that for tarot readings and stuff, close group. This is a continuation of the 4 of Stones in more depth, which is also a sunrise card. And we're looking at this number 5.
Yes.
Okay. Starting anything new with an abundance of enthusiasm and optimism helps to bring the project all the way to its positive and fulfilling outcome. Thinking of spring and the time of the rising sun will help carry you through any obstacles and challenges. We're thinking about our swap meeting coming up, the banners. We've been here a year, over a year, so we're kind of on another level of our growth as a church. Just spring energy, I always think of spring energy, new growth. It's a fresh time of year after winter, there's no light. So that's kind of like spring energy.
I like that. And there's change. So when we approach change with joy, that's a wonderful thing. We don't always approach it with that. So it's all about the consciousness with which we approach what Spirit guides us to do in this next chapter.
Thank you, that was a great idea.
just was so simple. It was very interesting. So
And it was
different.
like a story. It's like you tell a story with your music. It's,
Yeah, but there's something else. As I was playing, I was present to it too. I was thinking, my goodness, they're saying just approach this so simply and cleanly. Just be like a child. It'll be all right. Whatever comes, it'll be sweet, you know?
yes, and it was very sweet.
It was.
And Jennifer's lesson was very sweet. So, and I keep thinking, I would love, I don't know if you have time, I would love to see you go to a New Thought Music Festival or plan, you know, the New Thought musicians get together. I don't know if you've been to one of theirs,
Never been.
but you would fit right in there. And yeah, bringing some of your original music and, you know, making connections. So let us share our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now let us sing our peace song, and let us see this peace really moving from us and out and touching hearts and minds and making ripples that matter in the world.
Bring it up a little.
And so it is. Go in peace and as peace. Okay, David. Thank you all, and Jennifer, what a fabulous presentation.
Thank you. Well, thank you for putting the PowerPoint together because I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh,
Yes.
put that together.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.